Hey gamers. Sometimes I turn the screen to myself when I'm not looking at it. And I'm like, why? I control that. Why would I make it so unnecessarily dramatic? I don't know. Maybe that's the vibe for today. We're back with Citizen Sleeper 2. Here's where we left off. We returned to Darkside, which is the area in which Lane, our hater, is at. It's where he and his crew, the Utsubo gang, control. We're back. Seraphine was like, we have to stop running. We've got to go into the heart of danger. And I was like, I think it seems like a bad idea, but I trust you, Seraphine. And he was like, okay, we're going to take my buddy Marco along. And I was like, I don't know this dude. I don't trust him. And Seraphine's like, but you trust me, right? And I'm like, yeah. And then we got to the base where we had to do the switch off, where we're being snuck into Darkside. And Seraphine was like, oh, by the way, I won't be going with you. Only Marco will. I don't trust this dude. I do not trust this man. Seraphine, I trust, but I don't think he has a good opinion. I don't think he has good opinions. I don't trust Marco, who is the guy that is sneaking us into this base. And I'm saying all this right now so that when I'm vindicated by the game, I can feel vindicated and be visually justified in my doubt. I just don't trust him. There's no real reason. I think he has a bad vibe. And they've been keeping the extent of this plan from me. Like, they haven't been telling me everything about how this plan is going to go, which is suspicious. And Marco separated me from Seraphine the first moment he could, which I think is all very suspicious. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm laying the ground for a massive I told you so in a minute. So that's where we're at. We had to bring, we didn't have to, but we did bring one of our crew members along on this trial. And I did choose Junie. And Junie made sense from a skill standpoint, but from a story standpoint, it is crazy that we have just a child on our freighter cargo cover that we're taking into deep gang territory. So it was maybe a wrong choice, but I trust Junie. I trust Junie way more than I trust Marco. Okay. Yeah, I remember having a pretty solid dice loadout. So this is Darkside. Here's this fuckboy. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cycles. Right, Trollovite agent? A perfect child. Bless you, Junie. Okay. So we can eavesdrop or we can do the Docker debate. The Docker debate will get us, I think, more... Ha! Cesius Blue, that's really funny. I brought Bliss to this and mechanically it was a bad idea, but story-wise it was fun. Alright. Sometimes that's worthwhile. Alright, so we've got some good options there. Oh, that's right. Well, we are in the dock currently. We came in on a freighter. We swapped the crew of a freighter, which is why it's so funny that sweet little Junie is here. Yeah, it is. This whole plan's insane because it's like we're in a long haul freighter hauling goods, and then they pan over to my crew, and it's just a series of twigs. It's a series of brittle twigs with absolutely no endure. Not a single... There's like 6 people on my ship, and not a single one of them can lift anything over 20 pounds. I spilled coffee on myself. Okay. Nobody is space forklift operated certified, yeah. Or of the stick, yeah, basically. Okay. I'm gonna blow my nose too. Hold on. Okay, so once again, some good options here to cut surveillance on us. And this is a residential. Okay, track enforcers, hack Utsubo comms. Okay. Ha! Gold stars. That's kind of where I'm at too. I trust Bliss. But, I do trust Junie more, weirdly. Okay. So I've got pluses in everything that's on board. There's no Endure on board. Junie has got some good options. Marco is fucking useless. Marco's absolutely useless across the board. There's like one thing that he has some skill in. Everything else he's got X'd out. What a waste! Ugh. You almost never took Junie because you built into hacking. That makes sense. I did have some overlap there, which is a shame. Okay. I'm wondering if completing this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 tick marker, I'm wondering if that'll de-escalate the Utsubo stress. 12 is a lot of ticks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. 9 is easy. We could get 9 right now, actually. Because we could get, I'm guessing, 2 to 3 from a positive. So at least 2, 4, 6, and then 8. Yeah, we could get that immediately. Yeah, my trial by my guess is that it won't erase the stress that already exists, but it might clear this crisis, so it won't increase. That's kind of what I'm assuming. All right, and then guys, another big tick one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's another 12. So there's 2 12 tick options. This one, both of these are dangerous, which might mean it would be a good place to use my good dice. One is dangerous, one is risky. One dangerous and one risky, and this one should be easier because it's a Junie skill as well. Okay. What did that get me? I think I'm not gonna worry about dock surveillance. I think I'm just not gonna focus on it. I think let's get this one. Let's see if danger gets us 3 ticks or 2 ticks. Okay, 3 ticks. All right. In which case, we're gonna unlock this immediately because we're gonna do 3 6 dice on this, get 3 ticks every time, and then we'll be good to go. Okay. Okay. That unlocked us a bar, Docker's Rest. Okay, we can steal a pass key. Fastest and most dangerous way to get an entry cipher is to steal a physical pass key. First, you have to find a mark. Okay. Or, hey, Hobbs. Or extract cipher. Rather than steal a passkey wholesale, it might be safer to hack the personal slates of the dockers and extract enough data for a fake. Okay. That's a good Junie skill. We only need 8 ticks on this. So this one would potentially get us 3 ticks. This will only get us 2, but is a much safer bet. Okay, and then this one, I'm worried that this one is also just going to unlock another location, but we don't really have a lot of choices. And we need to get it done. Wow, this danger option only gets us 2 ticks? God damn. God damn! Okay, that one's gonna take a while. I'm not gonna use Marco's second. No, I think everything's too risky to use Marco's second dice. I might push, though. Let's try 1 dice here and see how it goes. Ooh! Oh, fuck! Okay, that got me an Utsubo stress because it was a negative outcome. Alright. Damn, that sucks. I mean, that's the equivalent of losing a day. Damn, that sucks. And I got a stress, too. Well, I should not risk it. I'm not gonna risk it. Damn, that's rough. All right. Man, okay. Marco, you fucking piece of shit. Oh, and one of my dice broke. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, gang. I think we're gonna focus on this one. Because it's the one we have farthest ahead. Oh, I should have used that 5 on this dangerous one. Damn. Okay, okay, okay. I just need 1 more positive. Please, game, please. Okay, nice. All right. You leave the Docker's Rest with an Utsubo passkey in hand, sure to get you inside one of their safe houses. Now, the trick is to find one. You make your way through the docks, head down in the dark passageways. Sleeper? Junie's voice cuts through the hiss of the air cyclers. Marco's gone. You stop at the dark side passageway you were drifting down, a quiet connection between 2 thoroughfares. You glance around at the loose bundles of wires and stained metal plates. It seems like a safe place to talk. He just left. Junie looks nervously down at her feet. He said he had something he wanted to do and left. That was it. You pause for a moment, unsure how to react. What's going on? Junie rubs her hand together. I don't know, Sleeper. I don't really know Marco. I thought you and Seraphin... She trails off. This isn't good, is it? He's looking for Polo, Zeta. Hey, Roy. You take a moment. No need to panic. Marco brought you here. He'll get you out. Okay, girl. You look down the corridor towards a busier, wider passageway where people drift by. If he needed to deal with something, then, well, he needed to deal with something. It doesn't mean anything. But you sure as hell wish he could have given you a warning. Sleeper, you're being naive. Surveilled and now short-handed. This job is going from bad to worse. Hobbs. It actually doesn't matter. It's his manner that I distrust. Because he's like, you have to trust me. But he's also been like clearly lying and deceiving us. Yeah, NH London, that's the saving grace of this. He had really bad dice, so it's not going to matter all that much. We're just going to have to keep doing. Thank God I saved Junie's dice for this one, though. And we're gonna push. Damn. Oh, I'm not gonna risk it. I'm not gonna risk it. Asterian vibes, but no charisma. Damn. What? That's so many words just to say fuckboy. All right. Well, I mean, there's just nothing for it. We have to... Unstable cipher will be erased at the end of the contract. Decaying passcode. Okay. I mean, I feel strongly that the passageway we need to use it for will be here. So, this doesn't change anything. He didn't have any useful skills for this last one anyway. So it's like, it's genuinely not a huge loss. God, I wish I had better dice though. Come on. All right. I don't know if this 4 is gonna save us. If you could get us 3 ticks right now, that would be super cool of you. Nope, still just 2. All right. I don't know which of our skills is gonna be useful in this next portion. Okay, neutral outcome. So we got 2 ticks, but also I took a stress. Okay. Should have unlocked a new location. Ugh. Oh, great. Okay. We don't have to do any skills for this. A simple door leads down into what you suspect is an Utsubo's safe house. All you need is the passkey cipher to enter, which we have. You use the passkey and the bolt thunks open. Time to go inside. The unmarked door slides open as you use the cipher. Beyond it, a dark tunnel descends, its roof a mess of bundled tubes and wires. Entering, you see a flickering light at its far end and hear the soft echo of raised voices. Junie gives you a gentle nod. Let's go in. She glances over her shoulder nervously. You drift down the tunnel, keeping your limbs clear of the sides, your passage through this air silent and gentle. You focus on the flickering light, the sound of voices growing even louder. As you descend through the tunnel, you notice a small, dark doorway leading off before the tunnel reaches the bottom. You slow yourself gently, fingertips grazing the metal walls on either side. Glancing through, you see the doorway leads into a framework balcony, high on the wall of some dark room. You glance down to the bottom of the tunnel and hear the voices rising in volume. Sleeper! Junie hisses from behind you. The balcony! You come out onto the balcony overlooking a dark cavernous room lit in patches with a bright area at the far end. It's filled with people, Utsubo, enforcers, and members all facing forward, their floating bodies silhouetted by the pool of bright light ahead. And in that bright pool, 2 figures are arguing. You come to the edge of a balcony, a feeling of safety granted to you by both your elevation and the cover of darkness. Below, the entire room has its attention focused on the 2 figures in the pool of light, the watching audience keeping to the dark perimeter as if they were observing a piece of theater. You feel Junie arrive beside you, her attention, like yours, on the scene below. These are my territories. You need to withdraw. One figure, their feature hard to define in the pool of light, gestures to the other. There's no discussion to be had. The other figure laughs. You're pathetic, Orin. The Washgate is a joke, like you. He turns to the crowd and you see his dark hair, dark eyes, and smile like a slit. Hard to tell what this person's name is. Daichi? The dark-haired figure addresses the gathered crowd. Orin makes nothing from the Washgate. All that freight, and he lets it slip by while he soaks up bribes. Jeering echoes from the crowds. He's stealing from you all. Daichi, you piece of shit. Orin spits, a glinting orb zipping past the other man. Don't spit in 0G. I'm begging you. You have no respect. A few of the crowd enter the light, gathering behind one figure or the other. Barely more than an enforcer and already dictating terms. If you had any idea what was happening in the passages, you'd know we've been facing sabotage and resistance across the Washgate. Orin shakes his head. Utsubo's control is under question. Sabotage and resistance. You quietly log the remark in your mind. Those are the people you have to find. Daichi smirks in response. I still know how it is in the passages, but you're getting soft, Orin. He glances around. You can't deal with some angry shop owners. He makes a show of his mocking laugh. It's easy to mock, but they're organized, and I'm close to rooting out their meeting places. Oren folds his arms. You wouldn't know where to start looking. If you say so, old man. In the end, it's only a matter of time before someone ambitious notices how weak you've become. Daichi draws a finger across his throat with a grin. The room interrupts and shouts. Both sides call out insults while others from the crowd air their own problems, some drifting into the light to heckle Daichi and Oren directly. Silence! A voice cuts through the room, raising above all others. The noise drops. You lean forward to get a better view. A woman holding her muscular arms in the air, a wide, strong posture of control, not surrender. We finally found a broad woman. Probably not gonna join our crew, though. Yeah, we found another hunk. Ankita also yes. Sexalia, I'm glad you said that. I was thinking the name Ankita sounds familiar. She's from the first game. Was she a villain in the first game? Or is she reformable? Or what's her deal? Both of you. She shakes her head, her long braids snaking through the air as she does. Enough. This is not how we do things. She was in the DLC. Oh, was she the person that we... I remember getting angry at somebody. Was it Ankita? Hold on. Yes, Gold Stars. I remember her. Wow, and now she's a gangster. Okay. I mean, that figures. Okay, yeah, I remember. Yeah. Yeah, I remember her storyline. Damn. Okay. The chaos is replaced by a disgruntled muttering, no one voice willing to rise above the murmur. Daichi flits to one side, arms coolly folded, while Oren fumes opposite him, his hands in tight fists. So this is how the Star Ward conducts its business. She shoots hard looks around the room. Animals, fighting over scraps. Ankita, Oren eyes Daichi as he speaks. Daichi was the one disrespecting the leadership and the trust they've placed in. I said enough. Your weakness does not impress me, Oren. She turns to Daichi, and neither does your petulance, Daichi. Watch who you're calling weak, Ankita. Oren narrows his eyes. You might be Lane's favorite, but I have something that'll change all of that. He looks out over the heads of the crowd. Bring him. It's going to be Marco. A figure is dragged into the circle of light, their head low, a greasy tangle of dark hair drifting over their face. They lift a hand and slick it back out of their eyes. Marco. Yeah? Yeah? Who could have seen this coming? Who could have predicted? Who could have guessed? Who? Marco, Junie hisses from beside you as Marco's pale face catches the light gleaming with sweat. This one here has a very interesting story to share with us all. Oren gestures to the gathering crowd. I'm sure you're all aware of the bounty Lane has put on the head of a very valuable escaped sleeper and their accomplices. Well, Marco here tells me, he smiles at Marco, whose eyes are fixed forward, squinting into the light, that the same sleeper is, right now, on a freighter moored in the Washgate docks. A ripple runs through the gathered crowd, a reflection of the value of this information. You wonder how much cryo is on your and Seraphin's head. You look into Marco's eyes, attempting to see indication of what this might be. A desperate bid to save himself? A betrayal of everything you agreed upon? His set stare reveals nothing. It doesn't matter. We don't go with narcs. Now, Lane himself will be returning in 3 cycles, and you can imagine how pleased he'll be when I present the sleeper to him. Ankita stares at Oren. You had no business keeping this from me. She folds her arms. I will be the one to bring the sleeper in. Oh man, she's a bad boss. Not so fast, Ankita. Oren turns to the gathered crowd. The first of you to bring me the sleeper will be given a share of Washgate. He shoots a look across the circle of light. That includes you, Daichi. Uh-oh. The crowd erupts into shouts and movement, the assembled Utsubo members suddenly up and moving towards the doors. You push yourself into the corner of the balcony, tucking yourself in the shadows as you hear the tunnel filling with voices. There are shouts and scuffles, and you fear that any moment you'll be discovered, but as time passes, the noise subsides. You only open your eyes when the sound disappears altogether and the Yotsubo members on their way to their freighter. Onto your freighter! The Yotsubo members on their way to your freighter. The freighter that is supposed to take you off Darkside. You feel the panic rising. You're trapped here once more. Sleeper, we need to get out of here, Junie whispers at your side. It's too dangerous. You ascend through the tunnel, silent, slow. Your eyes are on the entrance, hoping that no Utsubo member returns or enters. And then you're back out the main passageway, blinking into the light of the fluorescent panels and gliding away from the entrance, lost in a daze. Who could have guessed? Who could have seen it coming? That untrustworthy fuckboy fucked us. Somewhere in the rise you eventually stop, not sure where you might be going, but needing to get away from what you just witnessed. You can't go back to the freighter, that much is clear, which means no supplies, no place to sleep. Then there's Marco. Was this always part of his plan, or is this just him in survival mode? Your mind fills with questions and worries, the path ahead unclear. This sleeper. God bless their sweet heart. God bless their sweet, naive heart. They need to be getting way angrier about this. They are being way too chill about what is happening. Marco, did he really give us up? Junie hovers in the passageway, her face a mask of concern. I don't understand, Sleeper. We don't know yet. Junie nods, but you hear the desperation in your own voice. Is that true? You saw him and Ankita. What more do you need? Your mind races with questions. Can you really leave this place without Marco? How would Seraphin react? If he actually has been caught by Utsubo, can you forgive him for giving you into the pressure? You're struggling to be angry at him, perhaps because you have been where he is now, under Utsubo's control. What would you have done to escape? Who would you have given up? You didn't give up anyone to escape, presumably. I mean, I guess we don't know because we don't have our memory. Yeah, it's good to be empathetic to people, especially people who have been put into bad places by a corrupt system. But fuck Marco. Fuck this guy. Tapping of keys on Junie's terminal interrupt your train of thought. You look at her sprinting into action. Her pragmatism is a strength, but she doesn't understand people and what drives them. To her, Marco is a mystery, but to you, his betrayal is all too familiar. You will have to decide how to react. Yeah, Trial by Agent, that really is the long and short of it. I trust Seraphin, but he has consistently, and I can't tell how much of this is like the game reacting to the kind of character we're playing or how much of this is just who Seraphin is, but like we have butt heads with him pretty consistently about what the right thing to do is. Junie notices you watching her. We need to find an empty unit here up in the rise. We have to stay as far away from the docks as we can. Junie looks up and meets your eye. We need time to think, to come up with a plan. She looks back down at her screen. We always do. Something chirps in her desk. Okay, I have an entry code for a unit just up here. She slides the deck away. Wait here, I'll be back. You take a moment, trying to find a focus. Maybe you could find those resisting Utsubo. They could help you? Though you wonder if they ever existed at all, given that Marco was the one who reported their existence to you and Seraphin. Was the whole thing a ploy to collect the bounty to bring you to Darkside? If you search out Marco, perhaps he can answer you, for better or for worse. But then you recall Oren's word, sabotage and resistance. If that was an honest plea, then there is some truth in what Marco said. Utsubo is being resisted. You try to gather yourself, so you have to bounce back, to come up fighting. Otherwise, this place will drown you in its darkness. Damn! Now I am regretting not taking care of the surveillance. Not an option anymore. Okay, good. Okay, so we have an abandoned unit where we can hang out. We can't do anything this round anyway. Oh my god. I'm gonna have to... What's the fucking plan? There's nothing for me to dice. There's nothing for me to dice. Am I just gonna have to... There's nothing for me to dice. Okay. I really don't... I mean, what's gonna happen if I get a negative here? I take a stress? Yep. That's cool. Who needs dice? Sheeta is really funny. Well, I guess we'll just starve. I guess me and the child will just starve. You wake up in the cold of the abandoned unit to an unsettling quiet. The air cyclers whine, the heat diffusers hum, but nothing around you breathes. You're alone. Junie! Junie! You slowly raise yourself, unclip the straps from the bunk, and allow yourself to drift up into the air. Silence. And then in that silence you hear something, a scrape or scuff. It draws your eye to the unit's doorway, where a shape is settling in the dark. I knew you couldn't have gone far. Ankita shifts in the doorway. Well, fuck me! Like, okay. The fuck was I supposed to do? I'm gonna rush her. That got rid of a stress, so that's nice. You kick off hard, dropping your shoulder and tucking your head so you slam into her chest with full force. Ankita reels back, then spins, wrapping you with both arms, and uses your momentum to whip you around and bundle you back into the unit. She laughs. Not bad! She flexes her shoulder. That was a solid hit. I think she's gonna try to use me to take down Lane. She wants to become the head of Utsubo. This is my guess. Just calm yourself. Ankita holds up both hands. Let's not cause too much damage. She raises an eyebrow. May I come in? She drifts through the doorway. We don't need any extra attention right now. What are you doing here? Look, just shut up and listen. Ankita drops her voice. I'm risking everything by coming here, she hisses. So don't make this any harder than it is. Fuck you. What you need to know is this. I'm on your side. I want Darkseid free just like you. And I hate Lane just as much as you do. Okay. I'm listening. Ankita sighs. I just have different methods, that's all. She raises an eyebrow. You might say better methods, given how well your visit has gone. Wow. I've been doing okay. Why should I trust you? I trust this woman so much more than I trust Marco. Maybe... Yeah, Matsalu, I'm wondering if she does something, she has to go on the run, and maybe she can go on the run with us. We've got a whole crew of people on the run. I'm the only person who can get you off Darkseid, so you better listen closely, Ankita hisses. It's taken me more cycles than you would believe to get this deep into Utsubo, and I'm not about to give it up for one escapee. But then, Lane doesn't usually run all across the belt chasing a lone escapee, even a sleeper. Ankita drifts a little closer, overshadowing you. So, you need to tell me now. What does Lane want with you? Why are you so important to him? What's it to you? Ankita darkens. You don't want to play it like this, trust me. What you don't understand, Sleeper, is that I've been trying to keep you safe since I saw you arrive, but your friend hasn't made it easy. Getting himself caught by Utsubo is bad enough, but then blabbing about you being here? I can only protect you so much. Fuck that guy. He's not my friend anymore. I doubt he cares. He's Oren's prize. He's done. Either way, you're lucky you aren't in the same position, and you have me to thank for that. Alright, fine, we'll rescue Marco. Stupid bullshit. So I'll ask again, why is Lane pursuing you? I mean, he's definitely pursuing us because of whatever he's done to our body. So I'll just tell her that. I want to be your friend. Ankita looks away in thought as you explain. She waits for you to finish. None of that makes any sense. But there's no way I'm letting Lane get his prize. Not until we understand more. She gives you a hard look. I can get you out, but I need a couple cycles, and I need you to do something for me. You need to take this with you off station. She produces a thumb drive and holds it up. I love that they're still using thumb drives. I love that they're still using thumb drives in this explicit sci-fi future. I like to imagine it's an actual thumb from a sleeper, though. This is everything I've managed to scrape from within Utsubo. A key to challenging Lane is on here, I know it. Take it to Oliveira. It's tucked away in the crater in the shoals, that massive debris field beyond the hollow. She meets your eye. You give it to Carmen, no one else. Ankita presses the drive into your palm and closes your hand around it. No one but Carmen, you understand? Lane's rise has been more cruel. He has spilt too much blood. When I'm ready, I'll make him pay for that. But Carmen needs to analyze what I've got on him, to find the right place and moment to strike. Ankita meets your eye. I knew a sleeper once, and I should have trusted them. She lets go of your hand. So now, I'm trusting you. Not all sleepers are alike. I'm very untrustworthy. I'll get you out and you deliver. That's the deal. Ankita cracks her knuckles. Then together we can... Ankita shifts sideways, grabbing the side of her head. A few small plastic keys drift through the air. Junie! Run, Sleeper! Junie wields her deck like a club, her face pale and panicked. A shrill whine draws both you and Junie's attention to Ankita. She's holding a boxy pistol in her wrist, its side blinking with a pale indicator light. She's pointing it at Junie. Don't do that again. Aw, Junie. God, she really is gonna become a murderer. Ankita reaches up and touches her temple. You're lucky I don't snap that thing in two, she winces, especially when I came to save you clowns. Junie looks at you questioningly, trembling and unsure. It's a long story. Junie looks between the two of you, confused. Does this mean I shouldn't hit her? I have to go, Sleeper. She glances between the two of you. You explain this whole thing to your friend if you want, but I won't be here when you do. 2 cycles. Be ready to leave. She backs out of the unit. When Lane comes back, you go out. Neither of us wants him to win here. And a piece of advice. Forget Marco. Keep your head down and wait for me. She raises a finger. You need supplies? Steal them in Flicker Row. Otherwise, keep to yourself. Ankita gives you a hard look and slips out of the unit. New location discovered? Alright. 2 ticks. Flicker Rows where we can steal supplies. Ugh, that's gonna be hard. With these dice, it's gonna be hard to steal supplies. Potentially we could search for Marco. I don't think I'm gonna... Hey, Dwarven Cleric! Yeah, the dice do not look good, Roy. The dice are not in my favor. Man, it really is the choice between whether I and Junie eat. Hobbs, I would say it's looking dicey. That's accurate. It really comes down to whether Junie and I eat and therefore avoid stress, or if we save Marco. I just genuinely do not think we have the dice for it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Because my guess is that these are only going to give us 2 ticks. 1, 2. So we could get 2 with the dice Junie has. Potentially 2. Ugh. Really diminishing returns. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ugh. I just don't think it's going to be possible. And I think it would be better for us to fucking eat. I think I'm gonna have to push in order to get food. Well, I mean, this die is not gonna be very good. Okay, thank Christ. All right. So we have enough food to make it, basically. I just don't... I could potentially push. But even if we get good dice... I just know... Knowing what I know about the writing of this game... My guess is that, because the game is very sweet. It's a very sweet, gentle game. And I think it probably empathizes with the position Marco's been put on, because I think he probably got picked up and then tortured or bullied or something to give up the information. So I think probably the game wants us to be more middling about Marco. Yeah. That's true. Well, I don't know. I think Hobbs will be like, you know, it's just, I was in a bad place, and I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Sleeper. I'm sorry I had to do it. I don't want to feel bad about leaving him, though. Because I'm a better person than Marco. Narc's a narc! That's true. I think This is the thing, is like, Narc's a narc. I think the game is probably written such that we are supposed to empathize with Marco and get him out. And I do have one more stress before my 4 die are damaged. So I might push and we'll see what I can get. Well, fuck off then. All right. Christ. I guess we weren't meant to save Marco. It just wasn't meant to happen. Oh, man. Those are some good dice, though. You wake up in the bare unit, cloaked in the endless shadow of dark side. Outside the window, the lights of the city glitter, but you do not see them. Your attention is instead on the tugging thread in your mind. Lane, drawing ever closer. You shiver. One more cycle, and then you're out. All right, well, I mean, now I've got nothing else to do. So I might as well. Oh, God, and we got such good dice, too. This dude's so fucking lucky. This dude's getting more than he deserves. Incredible. Incredible that I'm saving this man. I'm a fucking saint. I'm a diva. I'm a queen. Though you have no specific memory of it, there is something unpleasantly familiar about the place you found yourself in. Among the many, many stacked units of the Rise, framed by scaffolding and stretching away from Darkseid's reflectors in a way that is only possible in 0G, you found yourself in a cold corner. Here, a locked door is marked with Utsubo's sigil. A single eel curled back on itself, its mouth around its own tail. I love that. An eel Ouroboros? Fucking good. This is a kind of door behind which Utsubo keeps its secrets, its assets. Assets like you and Seraphim were, like Marco is now. So handy of a gang to have a logo that they put on all of their secret storerooms. Wow. Wow. Wow, chat. Twitch chat is going off with the portmanteaus. Utsuboros? Eelboros? Eelboros? You just keep adding more E's and U's. Zixergen, yes. Sorry, Miss Jackson. Ooh, I am for eels. Never meant to make your daughter cry. I am for fishes and not a guy. It's a door you've been watching, which is why you know there should be an enforcer lazily linked against it, and why you know you only have moments before they come back. Break the door, break the lock. It's not gonna matter. Neutral. I was really hoping to lose a stress from that, but okay. You slip a shipbreaker's chisel from your belt pack and jam it into the lock. Glancing over your shoulders, you try to force the mechanism. The tool bends and flexes. You force it sideways and hear a crack as the bolt shears off inside the mechanism. You wrench the door open. You're in. A dim corridor stretches out in front of you, lined with doors on either side. The memory hits you almost immediately. Long cycles between jobs in a cell like this, awaiting Lane's arrival. Kept safe. A lie that you believed when you were first brought to a place like this. Most of the cells are dark, empty, but a warm glow spills from around one of the doors. You quickly approach and look in. Marco is tucked into an inset breath, a padded niche like those in any unit. His back is turned to the small window in the door. You slam the exterior lock release without thinking, Marco turning over to face the door as it hisses open. Sleeper? He freezes for a moment, unsure of your intentions. He raises a hand as if to protect himself, to put something between you and him. You betrayed us. Marco frowns, his arm still up. I didn't have a choice, Sleeper. It's exactly what you expected, chat. I didn't have a choice, Sleeper, he frowns. Why did you come here? To accuse me? He laughs. This motherfucker. Let's not do this here. You came for me? Let's go. He glances desperately at the door behind you. Okay, I'm gonna let you out, Marco, but when we get back to the ship, I get to beat you up. I get to kick the shit out of you. This is the trade-off. I get to break one of your toes, just to make us even. You break out into the passageway, and Marco follows slowly, tentatively. Time to leave. Lucky me. Daichi floats in the corridor, a knife glinting in his hand. Man, Ankita's gonna be so pissed at us, and she's gonna be so right. I came to squeeze a little more information from Oren's prize here. He points a long knife at Marco. But it looks like I just got everything I needed. He closes the gap, raising his knife. Now stay still. I'd prefer to deliver you to Lane in one piece. It's a shame I can't attack him. Yay! I lost a stress. I'll still have a stress at the end of this, because we lose 5 stress when we leave a contract, but still, 1 stress is better than 2 stress. Hey, Empress! You spin away from the knife and feel it graze your side, slitting through your thick skin, but you don't stop. You kick hard from the doorway for the passageway, the lights washing over you in pulses as you do. Moments later, Marco and you are streaking through the passages of the rise in a haze, the pain fading, but the fear holding strong, desperate to leave this place once and for all. How are we getting out? How are we getting out? Oh, I got an achievement called Friend of a Friend. Is there something left to do here? I guess we just hang out. Cause there is, can I do this? Action unavailable, okay. Yeah, I think the only thing left to do is vibe. Marco's absolutely not worth it. He's back on the team though, so I guess he's just here. I guess maybe that was just a... Ah, City of Darkness. I got an achievement. Make it through Darkside Recon without getting caught. Marco rises from his breath quietly. You haven't really spoken, the two of you kept busy by your own injuries and the constant fear that Daiichi will find you. But so far he hasn't. And if Ankita is to be trusted, this is your final cycle on Darkside. You wait in silence, no one eager to speak. Yeah, 3 broken dice. Yup. Yup. It's a bad mission. It's a really intense one. Bad in the sense that it went poorly for me, not that it was badly designed. Yeah. Yeah, 3 broken dice. The worst yet. You wait in silence, no one eager to speak. A deep fatigue is set in, and in this moment, all anyone can do is wait for the excursion to be over. She's here. Marco nods to the doorway, where a silhouetted figure waits. Ankita looks at Marco, then at you, a raised eyebrow the only acknowledgement that you went against her advice. Lane is back on Darkside. We have to go now. She looks tired, angry. We won't have another chance. Come with me, quickly, quietly. She turns and pushes out into the corridor. Junie turns and looks at you and nods. You first, sleeper. Ankita leads you across Darkside, not stopping to look back. The lights and passages flash by, but you barely notice them. All eyes are fixed ahead on the way out. At some distant part of the station, Ankita stops at the docking bridge, a small freighter visible through the viewing windows. She flaps the door release and it slides open. She grabs your shoulder, looking out into your eyes. Lane's focus will be on Darkside now. He needs to stop the infighting to shore up Utsubo. If you get out now, he won't follow. Remember, Ankita hisses the instructions to you. Get that drive to Oliveira. Give it to Carmen. No one else, no matter what they say. Thank you. Ankita simply nods, and then she's gone. Out of my life forever! Disappearing into the endless winding passages of Darkside. You drift gingerly down the docking tunnel, which leads to the cold and sparse cargo bay of the ship. Once you're inside, there's a hiss, and the doors scissor shut. For a moment you panic, seeing no exit, no other doors, just a metal-walled bay. Is this a trap? But then the engines rumble to life, and you give in to your exhaustion. If Ankita has tricked you, at least you're leaving this place behind. And then you feel it. Cold fingers reaching into your mind. You're so close, Lane's voice in your ear. You're here. A rustling, a shifting. I can't quite place you. Can't quite put my finger on you, sleeper, but I know you're here. What are you doing here? Hoping to confront me, perhaps? Or something else? A hiss. I'm right here, you coward. Come and find me. I'll admit, I'm not quite ready for you, sleeper. A flicker and a spasm. But so soon, this will all be over. A tone begins, shrill and inescapable. Let me show you. The tone rises. Lane is in the bay of the freighter, the pull of constant acceleration, a comforting pressure against his chest. Lane looks around the bay, taking it slowly. He inhales the stale air deeply. Lane feels power, feels pride. The sense of control over another excites him. This is his horny, weird, freak-ass desire. Lane lifts his right hand and turns it in the air, flexing his fingers in a satisfying wave. Something flickers in the corner of your vision for a moment, and you strain to turn Lane's head. It does not turn, but you swear you see a figure there in the bay with you. I was so hoping that the ship mind would show up. The enemy of my enemy is my friend, or the enemy of my friend is also my enemy. It opens its mouth as if to speak, as if to scream. Then it is gone. A smile grows on Lane's face. Oh, was that it? A spreading tightness that has its own impulse. He raises one hand and uses it to grip the smallest finger of another. Wow, he's gonna break my finger? But that's what I was gonna do to Marco. A pause and then a sudden jerk. Lane snaps the finger back against the joint. His pain is instant, as is yours. It burns your vision away. When the white-hot blindness has faded, you look out of the same metal walls. You hold the same finger in your hand, and as you release it, you see the crooked shape it has been bent into. A shiver runs through you, and you reach back into your own mind to see if any trace, any fragment of Lane remains there. You put your hands on your face and push, as if to push him from your head. The ship continues on its starward arc, away from Darkseid, away from Lane, but you can't help but feel that some part of him is still there, behind your eyes, concealing beneath that pain of the snapped finger. Oh, I'll admit, I was really hoping and expecting more from my dark passenger. What's the point of having a dark passenger if it's not gonna keep serial killers from being in your brain? You know? It takes a long time before you're ready to discuss everything. Yeah, it busted exactly. It was our digit. That is everybody's finger. Everybody who lives here, that's their finger. I don't know. Mechtel, I'm wondering if it's just... That felt very much like a... We need to acknowledge that they're here. Maybe it'll build to something later. Yeah, Hobbs, I'm wondering if that's it. Like, maybe it'll build to something later. Or maybe that was just like a textual input because there couldn't be a divergence in the story at that point. Because the Lane story is like the main story. So it kind of makes sense. It takes a long time before you're ready to discuss everything. First, there was the journey to the yard, then disembarking from the freighter, then explaining to the waiting crew why their ship was impounded, something Marco offered 1,000 apologies for. Oh, wow, he does know how to apologize. Oh, wow. Oh, wow, he can say sorry. Oh. Thankfully, the crew of the ship that brought you out of Darkseid, sent by Ankita, took the others aside and settled them. Through the promise of remuneration or the threat of violence, you aren't sure. But you expect they will leave together for Darkseid soon. Hey, Madzalu, it's accurate. You do your best to explain your encounter with Ankita to the crew, but the mention of her name sets off a significant reaction in Bliss. It seems the two have a history, a relationship that fell apart. Bliss removes themselves from the conversation, and later on you find them in their breaths staring at the wall. The whole time, you find yourself in a daze. Your skin hurts and your muscles tremble. You don't feel yourself. You rest for a while, and as you do, conversations echo around you, until you find yourself able to rise. Sleeper, Marco comes to you in a quiet of the rig. Can we speak for a moment? If the next thing out of his fucking mouth isn't a fucking apology, I'm gonna code this game. I'm gonna mod this game to let me scream at him. I'm gonna get into the code of the game and rewrite the conversation so that I shame and shame his ass. If the next words out of his fucking liar fuckboy mouth are not a goddamn apology, I'm going to get into the code of this game and I'm going to change his whole shit, all of his shit. I'm going to change his name. He's not going to be Marco anymore. He's just going to be called Shithead. I'm going to Control F, replace Marco with Shithead through the whole script. I'm going to paint a little fucking stupid ass mustache on top of his already stupid mustache. I'm gonna fucking reverse Doki Doki Literature Club his ass. I'm gonna get into the code of it, and I'm gonna change everything about this man. I'm gonna rewire all of his fucking circuits. All right, go ahead. Thank you, Sleeper. That's not a fucking apology. He looks down. I know I almost cost you everything, but you have to understand something. Oh, I have to understand something. Chat, did you realize I have to understand something? When they caught me, I was looking for someone important to me. Oh, okay. Oh, see, I just had to understand something. He was also doing something. He was doing something important to him that he didn't tell us about or help us plan for. He lied, but it was so okay. It was so okay that he lied to us. It's so okay that he got us caught. Oh. This is why I wanted to come with you. I just wanted to get a message to him and to know that he was all right. Oh, wow. So you weren't even saving him. So you sold my ass out and Junie's ass out. Just to get a word from him, you weren't even saving him. You didn't even save him. You just wanted to touch base. You just wanted to see you just wanted to shoot this man a fucking passenger pigeon. That's not what they're called. You wanted to send this man a fucking text. And you're like, that's totally worth the life of a sleeper. And a child. Poor Junie. Junie had to assault somebody else. For you, Marco. This motherfucker. This is why I wanted to come with you. I just wanted to get a message to him and to know that he was all right. He screws up his face, each word bringing him pain. And I admit, I thought I may be able to bargain on his behalf to get us both out. Bargain using my life. Marco can't bring himself to confirm it, but you both know it to be true. All I can say is, I'm sorry. It's not enough. If that's all you could say, that's all you should have fucking said. You didn't. You wanted to explain yourself because you thought if I understood your side of it, I wouldn't be so mad at you. Oh, well, you made a bad choice. You made a bad choice and you're an asshole. Look, you can use the yards when you get back to the scatter yards. Yeah, there's some components in there. Take what you want. Marco sniffs. I'm going to stay here a while. He does not look at your eye. He simply turns away and drifts down the corridor. As he does, Seraphine passes us by, receiving no acknowledgement. Oh, wow. We got new Seraphine art. That is exciting. I am excited that we got new Seraphine art. I fucking can't believe this motherfucker. Can't. Seraphine gives you a questioning look as Marco leaves. What happened out there, sleeper? He floats there, stretching his scarred arm, the protected sleeve he had been wearing since the far spindle finally removed. Marco betrayed us. Seraphine shakes his head. What do you mean? He told Utsubo where to find me. No, Seraphine frowns. That can't be. He pauses. Surely my bro had a good reason for it. It's just that I haven't told you this, but I really believe in bros before sleepers. Sorry about it. But, he's my friend, so if he did something that hurt you, he probably had a really great reason for it. Seraphine, I will get into the code of this game if you didn't back me up on this. I swear to God, Seraphine. It's not that I don't believe you. It's not that I don't believe you, but I'm about to say something that clarifies that I don't really believe you. Motherfucker, these fucking fuckboys. It's not that I don't believe you. But Marco hates Utsubo. There's a way that but gets used in the English language that makes it clear that the first part, the part that came before the but, is bullshit. And this is one of those times. Sometimes people will use a but to be like, this is a cousin to the I'm not racist but, or I'm not sexist but. It's just like, you can say that, but if the thing that you follow up that sentence with negates what you just said, then it doesn't fucking matter that you said it. You can't say not it and then do the thing. Seraphine sighs. He's come through for me so many times. I never thought... I'll talk to him. Seraphine nods, a grim look at his face. I'll get the full story. I'll give you the full story, motherfucker. He fucking betrayed us. I'll just hear him out, though. I'm sure he has a good reason. I can't believe this motherfucker. I can't believe I have to go into the code and rewrite both of these men. I can't believe I'm going to have to break into this game. I'm going to have to bust into this game. I'm going to have to open the text file script of this game and change both of these men. Seraphine looks down. I'm sorry I wasn't there, Sleeper. I should never have let Marco go instead of me. I did know this would happen. Seraphine looks away. I'm sorry I didn't listen, but this was our chance. I think Marco convinced him this was his chance because Marco knew this was his chance. What was this our chance for? What were we even supposed to be getting here? He looks up. Tell me it was worth it, Sleeper. Tell me you got something on Utsubo. You explain about the meeting you witnessed, the conflict between Orin and Daiichi, and Ankita's intervention. Explaining Ankita takes a little more effort, but you try to remember everything that happened. You explain Ankita's insistence that she was working against Darkseid and how she got you off the station. Yeah, right, Roy? I thought Seraphine was our ride or die too, and now... more die than ride, I guess. You explain that Utsubo itself is coming apart with Lane absent, and this will draw his focus away from the two of you. Seraphine waits until you've finished to respond. So this Ankita got herself inside Utsubo. He raises an eyebrow. Just to try to break their grip on Darkseid? He whistles. Takes some balls. You explain the drive, mentions Oliveira and Carmen, and then holds up the thumb drive, the one Ankita entrusted to you. Oliveira, he screws up his face. I've heard of it maybe once or twice. I just assumed it was some backwater colony. He sighs. Never met a Carmen, though. What's on that thing? Seraphine nods at the thumbnail drive. Something incriminating? Incriminating for who? Seraphine raises an eyebrow. Lane makes the law on Darkseid. If they were going to lock him up for his cruelty, they would have done so already. I don't get it, Seraphine raises an eyebrow. We just deliver this mysterious drive and that's all? He looks away, deep in thought. Is that what you want to do next? Oliveira. You never heard of it, but it seems like the kind of place you want to go if you want to help Ankita fight back against Lane. You look at the drive, and as you do, you can't help but feel you're being used. Not for the first time. One thing I will say, Seraphine begins, clearly thinking out loud. If we want to head back to Darkseid, what the fuck, Seraphine? Take on Lane? We're going to need to do so on our ship this time. Some crews got spoofed transponders, send out a signals matching other ship. He shrugs. Not going to get one fitted here, but that's something we need to look out for. What? Hey, Seraphine, how about next time you go to Darkseid? How about next time you put your dice on the line? Sure, you think. Go back to Darkseid, where Lane waits. A shudder of fear runs through you, thinking of the moment he slipped back into your mind on the freighter and snapped your fucking finger. If you ever go back there, you know you'll need something to counteract him. But you also recall Overseer's presence in this moment too. His strange form holds its shape as Lane tried to override your control. Perhaps Overseer has a way for you to resist his signal. Yes. Your mind whirls with possibilities and problems. Is this really the right move to go back to the place that almost killed you twice? To take Lane on? Seraphine looks at you expectantly. What are you thinking, Sleeper? We need to prepare. Couldn't agree more. Seraphine shakes his head. Next time will be different. We'll be ready. We won't come up fighting. We will come up fighting and Lane won't have a clue what's hit him. We need work. We need a crew. Seraphine starts counting off his fingers. We need to take that thing to Oliveira. We need you strong, Sleeper. Speaking of, Seraphine takes out a box of components. I kept myself busy these past cycles, working in the fabrication bay and the scatter yards. I figured we could use some spares. But first, Seraphine takes a calming breath. We rest. I'm furious. I'm absolutely furious. I do think Ankita is using us. I think she wants to take Lane's place as the commander of Utsubo. And that's not great. It's kind of a lateral move, but it's a lateral move that will potentially... yeah, 2 glitches, 3 broken die. And a 5 glitch debt. Or 4 glitch debt. I think Ankita is going to be less trouble for us than Lane was, depending on, like... there's a chance that she'll get into power and then want us for the same reason Lane wants us. But I strongly suspect now that Lane is trying to terraform our body so that it can accept his brain, either so that he can have a duplicate for himself or so that he can just plant his brain into our body. That's my guess on what's happening here. I appreciate that the game wants us to empathize in a way with Marco, because Marco was also subject to these pressures, right? Like, if there's somebody you care about is in trouble, you want to take care of them and protect them. And I think the game wants us to have empathy with Marco because of that. But there are limits to what empathy can do. Like, it's impossible to empathize with somebody and still hold them accountable for their actions. And that's the tricky thing, especially about Seraphin being like, I'll talk to him and get the full story. In this stream, we trust sleepers. Like, I know that he's old buddies with Marco, but it really does seem like he's prioritizing his relationship over our relationship. And the writing just kind of supports him doing that. And it's... the fact that Seraphin wasn't like... the fact that Seraphin wasn't like, okay, we won't fuck with this guy anymore. Yeah, that's the thing, is like, we literally travel on a ship. We're on our like 93rd or 94th cycle. So we've been together like potentially like 94 days, living together day by day, doing this, doing hard, difficult stuff. And so for him to be like, well, I'll just see with my buddy. I've definitely had friends and partners who, I'll say this specifically, boyfriends. I've definitely had boyfriends who were like, what? Let me just ask, let me get his side of the story. And it's just like, your friend was being an asshole. Your friend was being sexist towards me, or like he was being racist, and you don't see it. But like, it's so frustrating to be there and to be like, I'm telling you what happened. And for them to be like, I want to have an excuse to not trust you, so I'm going to ask my friend what happened. And then I know inevitably when that happens, they're going to take his side. It's clockwork. Because they're going to be like, well, I just empathize more with him for some reason. And it's like, okay, well, like... okay, you've made your choice. You've demonstrated that you don't trust me. So, like, how do you expect me to trust you in the future? And I appreciate that there are situations in which you do have to talk through what happened. Like, but there's also just, like, sometimes people are just sexist. I don't know what that's just the long and short of it. Like, it's so frustrating. Hobbs, I hope so. I hope so. That was so frustrating. All right, let's do something about how fucked up we are. Let's get a meal, first of all. Okay. Let's get some supplies. Gold Stars, yeah, I am wondering. Gold Star says this whole arc really felt like the first crack in our bond with Seraphin, where it's honestly like, I just don't want to stick with him anymore once this is over. I agree, but I don't think it's intentional necessarily. Maybe it's leading that, but it's just like, it's tricky because like, this is the struggle, which is like, I don't trust Seraphin, and I don't want to go back to Darkside. And if this were like my real life in this situation, I would not want to do that. But I want to see where that story goes, and I want to see what happens with all of this. And it does feel like that's where the final climax is. So it's like, it's tricky. I'm going against my role-playing instincts because I want to see where the rest of the story goes. There is just some palpable gunk on my glasses. I need to wash these. I need to wash these more formally. Yeah, Zixogen, I think that's fundamentally what's so frustrating, is I think there was no catharsis in any of that. I don't feel like we were able to hold Marco or Seraphin responsible for the choices that they made that put us in a really bad place. We've got 3 broken dice. We've got 2 glitch dice. Okay. Well, the good news is the stuff with Aki we can do now. There's the Ray from Holmes' side. Okay. I think our plan is we're gonna cycle back once we're up and running, which won't be for a minute. I think the plan should be to cycle back and do the greenbelt stuff. All right. We just need rare components. Okay. I also don't totally know yet how to find paint, and I do really want to find paint. I would love to repaint my ship. Okay, so that's done. We got cargo. We got a little bit of fuel. We'll probably need more fuel to get back. You know what? I have to feed the kitty, too. We were gone for a long time. Kitty was probably very stressed about this. The stray purrs and rubs against your side as she glides over to eat. At least you'll never betray me, probably. Okay. Fabrication bay. Okay, that's right. I think I got... How many engine components? I think I only needed... The cat is an Utsubo plant. No! Hey, Longtone. Yeah, thank you for the resubscribe. We did it. You do sketches at various places. Okay, cool. I think we only needed 2 engine components to do... I think we only needed 2 engine components. So I don't think we need to make another. And I don't... Well... No. I mean... This is like pretty much the only thing I can do with my dice, I think. Marco's shipyard. Marco said you were free to take the components he had, but his yard is an absolute mess. All right, let's just... This is a safe option, so there's no point in not doing it. Okay. We got an engine component. Oh, cool, okay. And some stock. Search failed. All right. All right, well, we got another engine component anyway, so that works out. How far? Okay, so we can't go straight. Well, okay. I might take us up and over then. Because if we go... It's not that we have anything to do. Well, we need to go to Flotsam. Not Flotsam. We need to go to Holmes Rock to do this radio quest. And where are we supposed to go for? Where is Oliveira? Oh. Okay. Okay. Well, we're going to have to end up back at Hollow to do the radio report regardless. In order to do that, we need to go to Holmes Rock. So I do think we're going to go up and over. We'll hop to Flotsam, then to Holmes Rock, then down to Hellion Gate, and then to Greenbelt. Yeah, I think that's how it's going to be. In which case, let's do this. We'll toggle that one. All right. No reason to hang around here. Ooh, okay. The darkness flows around you, and you know what comes next. Sleeper, the multi-part image of Overseer assembles itself in front of you. We must intervene in your current course. Intervene in what? The opening of your systems has breached a new paradigm. You are dangerously exposed. The voice is somehow both soundless and shrill. As we are sharing your hardware, that means we too are fatally exposed. Yeah, 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 yeah. The enemy of my symbiote is my enemy. The individual agent you encountered. We are almost completely erased by their attempts to seize control. Overseer's 3 heads nod eagerly in agreement. It's Lane. We have knowledge of this name from your memory banks. There is much of interest to us recorded there, though often partially and inconsistently. Overseer whirs unsettlingly. But yes, we can confirm Lane's role in this vulnerability. It is our understanding that the assumption of inevitability is incorrect. Overseer glows with bright veins of data, but in this state, we cannot operate with full functionality. If we were to be recompiled in our correct reconfiguration, we believe we would be able to calculate a new path. Our aim would be to close the vulnerabilities and reinforce your system against future intrusions. That would ensure our safety within your systems. 3 sets of eyes lock onto you. Would that also please you? You can stop it? Correct. Overseer stutters like a glitched animation. Our expertise was in total system maintenance and security beyond our administration and navigation capabilities. We were built to do this. At least this is what we understand. Without being recompiled, we are aware of these capabilities but cannot access them. We are confident to a substantial degree that we will know how to complete the process once recompiled. The 3 heads nods one to another. Then recompile. The heads revolve thoughtfully for a moment. Without our original codebase, we cannot recompile. Overseer flickers. If you were able to speak with a Solheim systems engineer, perhaps lead engineer Yakov Kandinsky, perhaps we could acquire it. The heads stare at you expectantly like 3 partially deconstructed puppies. Solheim's gone. Yes, the heads nod repeatedly. Of course. The heads continue nodding. We were, of course, aware of this. You look at the fragmented program, itself, its systems, unstable and broken. You realize it's far worse off than you, and its collapse is almost inevitable. How could it possibly save you? It is a difficulty, Overseer flickers between poses, but all code bases are held in centralized Solheim facilities. They are Station A1, the CAN Channel Operational Center, the control center of the HAB-PEP, or the Hellion Asteroid Belt Photovoltaic Extraction Project. Overseer smiles helpfully. HAB-PEP. Is that Darkseid? Overseer immediately latches onto the thought. Based on your memory banks, we believe so. Correct. It occurs to you that this entire conversation is happening within your head. It's an unsettling feeling. Darkseid is a city now. This is true, but its foundation is the HAB-PEP itself. Overseer chirps brightly. We understand that the individual seeking to overwrite you is stationed in the HAB-PEP itself. Overseer's 3 heads separate and turn inward as if in conference. The shattered heads turn simultaneously, unsettling in the directness with which they address you. But if you could accelerate the HAB-PEP mainframe without making yourself known, we could reconstruct ourselves and gain the ability to reconstruct you. Theoretically, one of the head adds. Theoretically, the other 2 heads confirm. Theoretically? Theoretically, the heads confirm again. The reassurance of a delusional Solheim protocol are barely reassuring. But if Overseer's correct, this may be your only option. We feel your doubt, but we must impress on you the importance of this. Please. Overseer's eyes flash, all 6 of them. If not for your sake, for ours. If you cannot find your way to the HAB-PEP before encountering this lane, you will surely be overridden, and we would also share your fate. The heads rotate. We would not like this to happen. You sigh, exhausted from the conversation. Overseer gets the message. We'll leave you to recharge, but please consider the path ahead. You come back to the ragged paneling of the punks. Somewhere behind your left eye, the ache begins. You envy Overseer for its lack of a body and the pain it causes, but then, suddenly, you wonder if in sharing your body, it shares your pain, too. The thought makes you pity the broken protocol, its sense of time and place shattered. Perhaps you share more than you'd like to admit. The path ahead begins to take shape. It seems a return to Darkseid is inevitable, but you'll need help to make that return. Certainly will. All right, so I've got cracked dice now. Well, I'll have to remember, what are cracked dice? Are they permanently glitched? Okay, glitch is penalty for repairing die or from hacking attempts. You may also gain a permanent glitch, for example, when breaking all your dice on the risky difficulty. Your number of permanent glitches is represented in red on the glitch clock to the right of your dice. You can have a maximum of 6. Permanent glitch is not expended and cannot be fixed or removed otherwise. Is that what that is? But I didn't break all my dice. I guess not, because I don't see any red ticks. It's just a visual? Okay. Maybe under stress and die health. It's just visual? I do love Flare in UI, but that... it's... I don't think it's ideal to have that kind of visual indicator if it does not have a gameplay implication. But I do like it as indicative of, like, the damage I am doing on my body. I think it's a cool visual representation, but... alright, it might be time to invest more in push. -2 stress if re-rolls 6. That might be handy, because we did get a lot of stress that last time. Jim, I have been very lucky. That's totally fair, actually. I've just been very lucky with the dice I've gotten, I think. Reroll +1 dice. Does this mean rolling an additional dice? Or +1 to the dice I roll? And can I only take one of these? I'm gonna click on this and see if I can take it as well. Okay, so I can only have one or the other. No dice damage on push reroll, and I don't think I can change this. Wait, did that take my 2 points? Did that take my upgrade points, just switching it? This game is frustrating me today. This game is frustrating me today. Okay, well, that's fine. Who needed those 2 upgrades? It's not like it's super difficult to get upgrade points in this game. It's not like it takes a very long time. Can I reset the day? That's actually a great point. Yeah, maybe. I think I'm going to do that, actually. We'll just redo anything. I think we won't have much to redo. Okay. All right. -2 stress. Reroll random dice, but +1 rolled. Oh, so this will not reroll the lowest dice? I mean, that's not bad. I tend to use my dice as needed before re-rolling, so it will probably re-roll my lowest dice, because that's what will be left over when I re-roll. But -2 stress, if we get into another bad situation like we were in, would be really useful. Although if I'm pushing at all, it's because I'm worried about the loadout. But this doesn't guarantee we'll get higher dice. How many times has the reroll been a 6? Not 0. But not very often, probably. Yeah, you're right. I'll take more. I'm going to take more dice. More rerolls. Okay. Alright. We don't need a meal. We do need fuel. Alright. That's just getting us stuff. Fill fuel. And then, what do you got? What's happening down here? Supplies. Okay. Yeah, that's really all we need to do here. I guess I'll use some dice to get some money. Alright. What about you? It doesn't matter if I'm good at these or not, so... I am mad. I'm still mad about it, if I'm honest. Oh, man. Alright, well, we're making money, but we're losing energy. Oh, man. I don't think we made our money back on that, but that's fine. Alright. Yeah, we've got everything we need. Let's just keep going. Alright, on to Holmes Rock. Alright. Alright, so there's fuel. Food. This is work. Oh, our beautiful little ship. The printer. And then the old relay. Okay. Did the save scum erase our feeding the kitty? No, I think we fed the kitty. We fed the kitty when we got back from Darkside. Good checking, though. The array and the relay are hooked up to the old terminal. Safely disengaging these would allow clean extraction. Alright. I mean, there's no other real option. Oof. Oof. 2 energy loss on that? That's rough. Oh, that's rough. Alright. We did get a tick, though. Is there... Supplies are pretty expensive here. Is there a bar? Is there no bar on this freighter? I guess not. Alright. That's fine. We got stuff. We're starving, but we're not like starving. I'm gonna crack a protein bar. We'll be good to go. Alright. We only need 4 more. I mean, there's no real reason to rush this. She says, rushing it unnecessarily. Because I don't think Lane is following us anymore, really. What? Where? Okay. Where on the map does it say I need to go for this quest? Oh, interesting. Okay. All right, well, we'll go to Far Spindle next then and do a sketch there. All right. We'll rest one more time and that should get us what we need. Assuming the dice are generous, which we've had kinder dice. What? Ooh, actually, no, this will be fine. But we should eat before we try any of the riskier dice. Yeah. Okay. Ooh. Long tone, that's excellent. Alright, we only need one more tick, so if the dice could be just so generous with us right now. That would be ideal. Good enough. All right, we got it. We got the Solheim Ray. Dope. All right. Let's hop over to Spindle. Refuel. Get a sketch, however we do that. You're the first to notice them. Small, white, smooth shapes at the boundaries between hull plates and the seams of paneling curling out from beneath vents. Mushrooms! Oh no! Did we keep the mushrooms on board too long? Oh no! Mushrooms dotted here and there all across the cargo bay. Mushrooms growing on your ship. This doesn't seem very hygienic. Bliss floats next to you, surveying the scattering of pale caps in the cargo bay. It's hard not to agree, although you doubt spores and fungi can have a significant effect on your body. Not that you've risked it before. We should vent the cargo bay. Seraphine's voice crackles through the cargo bay speakers. He's flying the ship, but you updated him on your new passengers. This is what comes from having spores and wonky crates sitting in your bay cycle after cycle. I didn't know! Oh my god. You look with slight embarrassment at the ragged spore crate that Nimba asked you to deliver to Aki as a gift. Maybe you should have proved a faster courier. Bliss sees you looking. Hey, don't blame yourself. They don't seem to be hurting anyone. They float over to a cap and tear it off at the stem. We know from Nimba that these are edible, so we could farm them? We are always short of supplies, Seraphine's voice buzzes through the speakers. But a few caps won't make a meal. Bliss inspects the caps. I do like a good mushroom. They sniff it. Back on the eye, they had these matsutake that smelled amazing. Aw. Those weren't the mushrooms. That was a good chef doing good mushroom chefery. You look over the cargo bay. It doesn't get used much. Most of your hulls fit comfortably in 1/4. There's plenty of room to isolate a little growing area, maybe with some plastic sheets. Or you could just open the hatch and let the void of space sterilize the whole place for you as you fly. No! After all of these things get into the air recycler, you could have a serious problem on your hands. And who knows what they might do to the wiring. Either way, you better keep a hold of the packed spore crate. Maybe just secure it in your own locker. Nimba wouldn't be impressed if you vented those spores. But the mushrooms, you need to decide what to do with them. Keep the mushrooms! Keep the mushrooms! Bliss holds the cap to their mouth and then thinks better of it. They squint at you. Are you sure? Yeah, keep them. I'm excited to do something that we can't take back. We'll still need to figure out how to harvest and prepare them. Bliss slips the cap into a pocket. But I think it's a good call. You hope they're right. This rig is busy enough without adding extra ecosystems into the mix. As you leave the cargo bay, you suddenly realize you've taken on yet another project. It's becoming a habit. We got an achievement called Mushroom Samba, aka an incredible episode of Cowboy Bebop. Mushroom Samba. Great. I'm ecstatic. I was worried that was going to use up our packed spores, but that Longtown, yes! We have so mushroom. Really, really good. All right. We need everything. We need supplies. Ah. Spindle view. Sketch a design. Yes. Oh my god. So we're sketching the Skindle. I love that. I love this so much. Action failed. Fine. Is there anywhere else I want to use my dice? Oh, right. Gambling. Alright, we can get some cash there. Buy fuel, buy supplies. Yes to fuel. We're kind of good on supplies. Where are we going? I think we're gonna have to go to... Yeah, sadly we're gonna have to stop by Hellion Gate before we go. But it should be fine. We should have enough fuel. Here's Nimba's place. No, that's not Nimba's place. Nimba's place is farther south. And we can't go there anymore. Alright, well... I guess let's just do this then. There's no reason not to spend all our dice here. Are we gonna have to wait here another tick while I sketch this? Okay, no, alright, we'll be fine. Great. Painted hull plates, transit tunnels, and old ship frames give the Farsmendel its distinctive look. Alright, we sketched it. That's so funny. Okay, where do we go for this now? Oh, okay, that's great. We need to go to Greenbelt and back to the Hollow. So, places we've already been. I'm glad we checked on that. Okay. Yeah, I think we'll just immediately away to... head to Hellion Gate. And there's not really much there, but we'll see what kind of dice we get. I don't think we have a place where we can sell Solheim data yet. Oh, but we got a couple 6s. So we could data scrape. Longton, thank you for the gift sub for Trollobite. Oh, we already did the radio thing. We got the radio array. We got the array right here. Search for supply. Yeah, that's the thing, is everything here is difficult and dangerous, even with a 6 dice. We don't really need fuel. Let me double check. How much fuel to get to Aki's awaiting arms? Yeah, see, only 7. I mean, but it is just a waste of these 6s because they're gonna get re-rolled when we go. So I guess I'll just get some Solheim data. And eventually, potentially, we'll find a place to sell those, or we can just trade it for more engine components. All right. I should check my rig? I'll feed the kitty. I'll feed the kitty once we're out of whatever this is. The biosphere, once barren, is transformed. Oh my god, it looks so spored. Where it was once dry and gray, it now swirls with amber dust, a hazy cloud cut through with the bone-white tendrils of steppe silk. Aki, in mast and goggles, lets the biosphere's circulation air play with the end of her scarf, twirling and twisting, even threatening to rip it from her neck. That scarf, she's explained, is woven with the bast fibers of the steppe silk itself. That's why this place is known as Weaver's Field, for the workshops of Greenbelt residents creating fabric from its steppe silk fibers. Weavers who fled from Ember Steppe, and those taught afresh by Aki herself. Isn't it beautiful? Aki says, her eyes glowing. Ember Steppe reborn on this rock, but not as an archive, as something new. The plants themselves are reconfigured, the steppe silk adapts well to the microgravity, even thrives, and the dusk itself becomes a cloud that surrounds it. Aki points to a tendril stretching across the space. What was once a burrowing plant is now a bridging plant. Like us, it projects itself across empty space, pushing out into its new conditions. Aki looks at you. Sorry, I'm rambling. This place does that to me. Her chuckle is muffled by her mask. It is beautiful. Aki bows. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. Let's leave this dust house. We can talk more easily outside. She shepherds you through some nearby double doors, the space between blasting you with air to clean away the dust. You find yourself in a sparse room, racks of unfamiliar tools on the wall, silt-like windows looking out into the amber dust storm. This is just the beginning for us. Aki has slipped off her mask, and her voice is crisp and bright above the rumble of the air recyclers. The steppe silk is already being harvested, retted, woven. There's no synthetic fiber from the dark side looms. This is a natural fiber, out here in this unnatural place. Aki brushes a little dust away. We'll trade it and get what Greenbelt needs to stay stable and feed its people. I am the administrator, but the workers are the owners here, and we will make a future for ourselves from our work. Aki shrugs. We control our path. What more could we want? Silence falls in the room. The idea of such a future so desirable that it's almost painful. An idea that haunts you. Yeah, it's a co-op! You can spend as much time here as you like. Aki breaks the silence, somehow aware of your thoughts. I find the noise soothes me. Thank you. Aki bows gently. She pauses. There's something you want to ask me, she smiles. I can see it right there on the tip of your tongue. Explain about Nimba. Aki listens carefully as you talk about the refugees in the Far Spindle and the possibility of setting up a mutual relationship between them and Greenbelt. The Far Spindle is a long way from here, she sighs. Come, find me in my unit later. We can discuss more then. You leave Aki in her dust house surrounded by the landscape of her homeworld, one of many creatures born on that parched moon that is in the process of transforming into something new. Oh, dope. We got drive points. Do I want to finish upgrading my push? Reroll dice cannot be a 1. Reroll random dice, but +1 rolled. I think reroll dice cannot be a 1. Because that's going to help. Not only is that going to make the dice higher value when we reroll them, which is great, but it'll also prevent us from getting damaged. Because the stress will tick up on 1 dice before anything else. So, I'm going to do it. And then we'll go back to increasing our overall skills. Alright, we got the supply ship. And we are going to need fuel. We'll do this before leaving. Here, let me feed the kibby. Oh! Okay. Kibby first. Oh my god! Part of the job of preparing the bay is finding all the stray caps that you don't want to take root and pulling them out. Or we could isolate the bay. Oh my god. Should I make sure? No, I'm going to need to use dice for this. Alright, we can gift the spores there. Here's the bar. This is going to be safe though, so I'm going to use some not great dice on it. Boo. And then yeah, it would be lovely to start mushroom farming. Fungus farmer. Ah! I'm delighted. I'm so delighted. I love what a through-line mushrooms is in this game. Spores gifted. Come in. The door of Aki's unit slides open, and you see her perched at a terminal, her face pale in the blue light of the screen. You've not seen her in this setting before. She seems paler, older when she isn't surrounded by the soft lights of the biomes. Just one moment. Her eyes do not leave the screen, and she leans in closer, squinting at some detail. You get the sense that this is her least favorite part of her administrative position. She sighs and looks up. Done. Immediately, her eyes are drawn to the crate you carry. What have you brought me? Spores! Spores? Her eyes light up. Let me see. As she unlocks the worn catches on the crate, you explain that about Nimba and his work to feed the refugees of the Underhang. You aren't sure that Aki is listening, though. She seems too eager to see inside the crate. Aki manages to get the lid open and lifts a dented canister out of the inside. She turns it, peering through the small windows at the dusty-looking translucent sheets curled inside. Spore prints! She looks at you. This is quite a gift. From this Nimba, you said. She carefully slots the canister away. We will make good use of these. The tunnels under Greenbelt will make an excellent mushroom garden. She smiles to herself. I was lucky enough to be taught how to tend mushrooms by a true expert. Like a sleeper that become mushroom? Mushroom? Yes. Oh, who was that? Someone from my journey here, a botanist on Erling's Eye. She was very kind to us. She would have liked to meet you. Okay. It's not us, but yeah, it must be Rico. I would like to meet Nimba. Perhaps we can find some commonality. She glances over her shoulder at the terminal. But I can't leave Greenbelt. Not now. She looks at you sheepishly. I'm a little nervous to ask you this of you, given your ferrying back and forth messages and deliveries, but would you bring Nimba here so we could speak? Is there not another way? Aki sighs. We have no long-range communication links across the belt. Apart from ferrying written messages, this is all we can do. A shrill beep emerges, emanating from Aki's terminal. Ah, the Weavers. I need to speak to them. You make your way out of the unit as Aki takes a deep breath, then accepts the incoming transmission. One more run from Greenbelt to the far spindle and back again. At least you aren't carrying spores this time. Wrong! Wrong! We are carrying fully fledged mushrooms. Alright. Well, we can't leave until we get this sketch. Yeah! Yeah! One more, come on. Big money. 2 ticks. Yeah! Okay, great. And then we can do a little bit more mushroom hunting. Yes! I mean, there's a little... there's a little less room now that's full of mushrooms. Hey! Madsally with the 1-2 punch. Alright. Yeah. Yeah. Superb. Excellent. You can start to get a good intuition for the mushrooms like to hide, and you are soon finding whole stacks of them. Oh my god. This might destroy our ship. Alright. Do I want to... I don't, it's tempting to go back to Far Spindle now to do this, but I do want to keep going. Because we're going to be able to help the Hellion folks now. We do need to refuel, though. Okay. We're doing a lot of stuff for not a lot of money right now. Ha, Hobbs. Eyes of Blood, that's so true. No point in repainting our ship if it can just grow a field of mushrooms on the outside. Yes! New location discovered. Okay. Let's see. We can just I think all we need to do is... Okay, yeah. Boop. Alright. And then I do think I'm gonna do this sketch first. Nice, 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 nice. And if we have spare dice, I'm gonna do a little work. We might not have spare dice. Fine. Perfect. Okay. Bar, working. I'm gonna put my 1 dice towards working. Oh, we can sell Solheim data here. I seem to remember it not selling for much. But... yeah, only 8 cryo, which honestly feels like kind of a ripoff. Debris dealers... oh yeah, we haven't even gotten any processed scrap yet. This game has a lot going on. Alright. Input 1 wide beam array. You wait in the makeshift Hellion Dispatch's studio as Kimball tinkers with the array somewhere in the back, behind the far wall. It's a humble setup, a stool for Cyrene, a microphone, the transmitter and mixer terminal, and the hard line snaking away towards the array. But there's something pleasing about it all the same. The crackling sound of fresh welds echo through the bay from Kimball's concealed position. You hope the array you struggled to extract isn't getting fried as you wait. You're here! Good! Cyrene rushes in, holding a small, dark rectangle in her hand. You will not believe what's on here. What we have on here. She looks at Kimball. She looks across the bay. Where's Kimball? Hopefully not frying another transmitter. You mean, Cyrene smiles, we're going back on air? Before you can answer, she leaps forward, grabbing you in a surprisingly firm hug. Broad women give good hugs. Cyrene lets you go. Sorry, she smiles. Just excited to finally be back. Kimball, she shouts towards the back of the array. Towards the back of the bay. How long for that new array? A muffled shout comes from behind the rear wall. Okay. Cyrene takes a steadying breath. We have a little time. What have you got there? This broadcast is from Erling's Eye. Cyrene's eyes flash. We haven't heard anything out of them since the start of the war. Some people even said they've fallen to the flux. But something is happening there. Something is growing. Mushrooms? This report says some protocol has taken over the station, become its protector. Conway drones can't get close. Sinitstat is giving it a wide breadth. Mushroom sleeper? They're right in the middle of the war. Conway on the Starwide side, Sinitstat on the Sunward, and they are resisting. Cyrene smiles. We have to tell everyone in the belt about this. We have to get the word out. If the eye can be held, well, maybe we can hold out too. Cyrene looks at the drive in her hand. Either way, people need to know. There's a sudden clunk, a few percussive shouts from Kimball, and then a flickering of lights all across the bay as the transmitter and the array begin powering up. You and Cyrene watch as the Hellion Dispatch's studio comes to life, ready to broadcast once more. Ah! Not bad, Cyrene leans against your shoulder. Not bad at all. A shout comes from Kimball, and you know he's ready, calling for Cyrene to get ready. That's my signal, she grins. Oh, I almost forgot. Cyrene produces a handful of chits. Turns out we have some avid listeners on the Radius markets. She deposits them in your hands. All right, Cyrene takes a breath. I need to go live. She flashes you a final smile. Thank you. I'll make sure we make good use of that array. This will mean something. Kimball bellows something from the back of the room. You can only assume it's a thank you. You leave the belt's most unusual double act to the broadcast, and as you do, you hear Cyrene's voice echoing throughout the bay. This is Jenna Stoeber back on the air to wish you all a free Hellion now and forever. All right. Oh, and we even got an upgrade point for that. Ooh, got a nice chunk of change for that. Okay. All right. So we could, well, let's fuel up. Not there. Let's fuel up here at the dealers. Okay. Fill our fuel. Oh, can we not get, okay. We must be able to get supplies here. Kind of pricey, but we're flush. Poe and Monroe in space. Yes. Incredible. Yeah, they scraped up a lot of money. I'm surprised. Okay. I think we're gonna pop down and do, well, no we're not. It's probably time to end the stream. Oh. Yeah, really the only way forward is Oliveira. I mean, let's pop down there and see. Hey, Jay Dimson. You find Oliveira exactly where Unkita said it would be, a ragged colony nestled in a crater on one of the biggest rocks of the shoals. Seraphim gets no response to his initial broadcast, and so you find yourself in a docking tunnel, the rig at one end, the colony at the other. No idea what awaits you. I need to get back to the ship and keep flying. You freeze in a dark tunnel, a figure in front of you holding a long gun at their hip. I'm serious. Oh, I need you to get back on that ship and keep flying. I'm serious. Your eyes adjust to the dark, and as they do, you see a man. No, a boy carrying a long, dark shape in his hands. It's just a super soaker. I don't know how you found us, but you need to leave right now and forget this place. You glance over your shoulder and see Seraphim, his hands raised in front of him in a gesture of calm. Look, kid, we mean no harm. How about you go run and get someone? Seraphim, could you not be a dick for like 1 second? If somebody has a gun, then there's somebody you have to talk to. I am someone. I'm Xander. He sticks out his jaw. It's you I don't know, and I'll decide who's going to do some harm here. He reaches across his chest and thumbs on a lamp he has lashed there. You blink in the glare of the bright light, shielding your eyes, and as you do, you see a flicker of confusion across Xander's face. He meets your eye with a look of shock and opens his mouth as if to speak, though no words emerge. We have something for Carmen. You notice the familiar name registering with Xander, adding to whatever confusion or question your appearance has provoked. You see his eyes taking in your sleeper body, his gun dropping a little as he takes his attention off it. Is this... He looks between you and Seraphin. Are you here for Flint? He pulls the gun closer to himself. Do they have a sleeper on board? I'll be honest, kid, we have no idea what you're talking about. Seraphin allows himself to drift forward a little. So how about you drop that gun and we just talk like adults? As Seraphin floats past you, he gives you a look that makes you nervous. Let's all stay calm. Including fucking you, Seraphin. Xander, the voice echoes along the docking bridge. Xander, what are you doing? A figure appears at the end of the bridge behind Xander, a young woman clearly older than the boy in front of you. Found these two trying to sneak in, Cadence. Xander keeps his eyes on you and Seraphin as he speaks. Saboteurs, maybe? Was about to send them on their way, Xander grins. I assure you, we are not saboteurs, miss. Seraphin smiles at Cadence. Oh, is he trying to use charm? Seraphin. Another war lesbian. Cadence sighs and glides towards Xander. Stop messing around with that welder. She snatches the gun out of Xander's hands, and as she does, both you and Seraphin reflexively flinch. Cadence looks at the two of you with a raised eyebrow and turns the gun so you can see it better. You notice the fuel tank and welding muzzle. Probably has an effective range of less than a foot. Seraphin looks at Xander and rolls his eyes. Seriously? I mean, if you think about it, a welder is just the opposite of a super soaker. Cadence lowers the welder to her side and turns to Xander. Now's not the time. We just got an emergency broadcast from Carmen and Flint. Something's happening. Ho, 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 ho. Xander's attitude changes immediately. He turns to face Cadence, putting his back to you, as if you had just disappeared completely. What do you mean, something's happened? I don't know. They went quiet in the shoals. All we got was a distress signal. Cadence raises her hands reassuringly. Don't get excited. They probably just had a technical fault on the ship. But we should check anyway. We have to get them. Xander grabs the welder back and slings it over his shoulder. In what, Xander? They took our only functioning ship. Oh, did they? Seems like y'all have a need for a nasty fungal ship. They took our only functioning ship, the Tender Tides, still in pieces in the hangar. Seraphin gives you a nudge and nods towards Cadence and Xander. This is your chance. We have a ship. Xander wheels around in the tunnel, squinting at you in thought. Seraphin moves past you, approaching them. We need to see Carmen, and it seems like Carmen needs our help. He looks between the two of you. So, how about we stop messing around in this dingy tunnel and go get your friend? Xander turns back to Cadence. Them? Really? He rolls his eyes. We're not the only people on Oliveira. There must be other ships. You want to go looking? They're here now. Cadence looks at Seraphin. This is a terrible idea. You should not trust us. And they're generously offering to help. She smiles sheepishly. Fine. Xander folds his arms. But I'm coming with you. Fine by us. Seraphin shakes his head and looks at you. Come on, then. This child is not broad enough. Hey, Hims. Your only functional ship? How about a functional ship, is what Hims and Haws says. I don't know. We do need a new name for the rig. That's true. I don't know if I think that's it, Boone. You both turn and head back into the ship, Seraphin whispering as you do. What kind of backwater has Ankita sent us to? He sighs. That kid thinks he's some kind of sheriff. Hobbs offers shiptake. I think the cat shouldn't be named Angie. I think Angie the Stray. Not used to visitors, I guess. Tucked away in the shoals like this, I'm not surprised. What are they doing out here? What are we talking about? Xander catches up with you and Seraphin. His mood seems buoyed by the prospect of boarding a ship. You wonder how often he gets to leave Oliveira. You? Seraphin snickers. Xander looks genuinely hurt for a second. Oh no! Oh, I feel bad. Wait up! You turn back to see Cadence gliding up the tunnel. I changed my mind. I'm coming too. Give me a moment to grab some supplies. She glances at Xander, just in case. Good. That's a good call. You should not just let us take this child. We are strangers. We are strangers. You should not just let us take this young man on our ship and disappear. Seraphine cuts in. I'll give you a hand. That all right, Sleeper? We'll be back in a sec. He looks at you. You pause, but Seraphine doesn't seem to be waiting for confirmation, and he and Cadence head back into the dock. You're slightly thrown off by his eagerness to be helpful. This is the first time you've actually seen him be welcoming to anyone coming aboard the rig. When you get to the cockpit, you notice Xander looking wide-eyed at the consoles and switches. Cool ship, he grins. After a short wait, Cadence and Seraphine come back to the cockpit. All loaded up, Seraphine pats Xander on the shoulder. Might want to strap in there, kid. Xander and Cadence find a place to settle as Seraphine buckles himself into the flight seat. All right, he turns to Xander. Show us where to go. Oh, okay. All right, we're on our way. I hope I bought... Okay, we got stuff. All right, we got supplies. You head out into the shoals, the thick debris field that surrounds Olivera. What's happening in there, Sleeper? Bliss pokes their head into the cockpit as Seraphine brings the ship towards the signal coordinates Xander gave him. You look around the cockpit. Xander is tapping at the cockpit console mounted in front of his seat in a haphazard way, while Cadence is asking Seraphine about how the rig works. Surprisingly, Seraphine is responding with patience and care. Seraphine seems to be on good behavior, which is fucking should be. They'll help us find Carmen. If you say so. Bliss looks over at Seraphine and Cadence. Is Seraphine smiling? They shake their head. Something is going on. Bliss turns back to you. I'm glad other people on this ship are like, what the fuck's happening with Seraphine? Junie is working on the ship's wiring and won't respond to my messages. She's probably in the wall somewhere, hooked up to the main line. They smile a weak smile. I'm here. So how about you tell me what we're doing out in the middle of nowhere? I do wish Nia had a little bit more presence on the ship. We just haven't really seen much from her since she has been added. We see a lot of Bliss, which makes sense. We've seen a decent amount of Junie. I guess we took Junie out on a big quest, so maybe it seems disproportionate. Maybe it just seems like disproportionately we spend more time with her. Quiet, Seraphine's voice cuts through the chatter. Is that... He gestures out into the debris field at a sparkling, ragged-looking shape tucked beside a rock. Xander rushes to the cockpit glass. Carmen. A moment of tense silence grips the room. That's his ship. You and Bliss exchange concerned glances. This isn't good. I'll bring her in. Seraphine's eyes are fixed on the wreckage of the crumpled ship below. We don't know anything yet, so everyone calm down. Xander is silent, his face pressed against the glass. Cadence stares out at the wreck, her cheeks pale. No one speaks until the rig is brought to a stop. All right, now we're going out there and we'll have a poke around. Seraphine looks between Cadence and Xander. We verify the ship and we recover the crew. Seraphine gives you and Bliss a nod and you both push off and glide towards the back of the ship. Suddenly, Xander pushes off from the window and glides with you out of the cockpit. I'm coming too. You need someone to identify the ship. To identify... He stops and takes a breath. Of course. Xander nods to you, tight-lipped and pale. You head to the airlock to suit up. Ooh! Xander with the good dice over here. And Endure! Oh my god, thank god. We finally have one person with Endure. Okay. Did you autosave? Alright, the game autosaved, so this will be where we stop. But we're gonna explore what happened. Yeah, even this child has more Endure than me. This child has more Endure than the rest of the ship combined. Yes, a hunklet? That's sweet. Someday this child will be broad as one needs to get him to be useful on a spaceship. I mean, he's already more useful than a lot of the people on the spaceship. So I'm really happy for him. Someday. Kids have the best dice. I hope when we get back into the game on Tuesday that it keeps this dice load out, because this is some solid shit. Beef baby, yes. Give him books so he can lift them. Everybody gets books. Even beef babies get books on this stream. God, a reoccurrence of beef baby. I'm so happy. All right. We'll be back Tuesday evening for more of this game. We'll explore this. This game's going long. We're already at 15 hours, which is longer than I was expecting for it. So, Hobbs, I'm with you. I'm enjoying this a lot, but I have things I have to do today. Otherwise, I'd keep playing. So we'll be back Tuesday for more of this stream. So have a good rest of your weekend. Take care. Get some rest. Prepare yourself for the week. I will see you Tuesday. Bye.